All right, so the time has come for another one of these little Q&As where I answer your questions from the Twitter, this time, the Twitter machine. And I'm going to be going through them completely at random for this Q&A. Just going to be going through them at random. It could be about really anything, whatever just I click on or whatever I see. So I'm going to be scrolling down and whatnot, going through. I do these periodically. Those of you who are new on the channel, answering your questions about pretty much anything. You would think it'd be Dragon Ball, but I get asked a lot of other questions as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it. It's one of those things where, with Dragon Ball Super, when it was on the air weekly, I would do like 8 videos a week, minimum. But lately I've been doing a lot less because I've been trying to focus on making the videos themselves better, better editing, more thorough research, just making them as good as possible, polishing them up. Plus, I've been working on a lot of things also in my private life, like my health and things like that. So I'm enjoying this break. Like, I'm actually, as much as I would love Super to come back soon, it will. It's just a matter of time. I am enjoying my little break here, getting to do other things, but I'm always here for y'all. So let's go ahead and answer these questions. First question here, Platinum says, what were your favorite and least favorite things about working in IT? Well, my favorite thing was helping out customers, the ones that were understanding and the ones that were, good, solid customers. I would love to help them out. My least favorite thing is working with management, especially with people who should not be managers. You had a lot of bosses and not enough leaders in IT. There's people who got to their positions just by having knowledge and not by being people persons. And I dealt with a lot of micromanagement, and that's really what drove me away from IT was the incredible micromanagement that I had to deal with. I just didn't like it. And my favorite jobs that I have, my favorite careers that I have, my favorite jobs I've had in my career have been jobs where I've been more free and I've also been more successful at it. But once I discovered YouTube and did this full time, it's just, I enjoy it a lot more. It's a lot more fulfilling. Chigo says, what motivates you to do all the things you do, social media and YouTube wise? Well, social media is something that I normally wouldn't do unless I had a YouTube channel. My Twitter and my Facebook exists to talk to people, specifically subscribers of mine and those who, I might be able to work with and things of that nature. What motivates me is, well, I don't know, honestly. I used to be that I wanted to buy a house and pay it off, but I've done that already. So I guess now the big motivating factor is just living as good of a life as possible and doing what I can to improve the world. I'm not saying that I'm going to change the world, but I'm hoping that one day somebody is sparked by something that I do to change the world and make it a better place. I feel like we're going down a dark path lately, and I want things to get better. Quantum, I already answered that here. Let's see. We're going to just randomly pick something here. Top 5 RPG franchises. There we go. Good question. I'm going to go with Dragon Quest, of course. Final Fantasy, I would put there mostly for the older games than the newer games. Because I don't like the newer Final Fantasies as much as the older ones. Let me think here. Pokemon, I would say, should be there. I also love Breath of Fire. I love Star Ocean. I think that's 5 already. I'm trying to think of what else I love. Persona. I haven't played enough of it yet, but that's one that I've really been told a lot about, so I probably will put it there once I play it. I'm thinking there's probably some that I don't count Zelda because that's more of an action adventure RPG than an RPG. I'm thinking more classic RPG. That should be 5 already. But there, I also the Mana series. Well, that's more action too. Trigger. Chrono Cross is not as good as Chrono Trigger, but it's still not bad. There's so many of them. Xeno series too. JDO says, if you were to put in charge of the final arc of Dragon Ball and the 2 greatest characters ever have to do a final battle, who do you choose to win? What powers do you give them? By the way, Goku or Vegeta, who will have the final laugh? If you choose my question, please describe the battle. Well, I can't do all that on here because I'm not really sure. I have to think about that. That's more of a question I'll have to really give thought to. As far as the final battle or whatever, I think we already covered that in the Janemba joke video that I did with Brill to Real. Even though it might seem like a joke, that actually would be a good idea, what I said in that video, having the multiverse all get involved in this gigantic battle with everyone, including Jiren and Hit and Broly and everybody. Do something like that is what I would say would be the final battle, and it would be after the end of Z, right? That's as much as I can give you right now because I have to really think about those kind of things. I can't just answer that. Keith Langley writes, do you think Goku stopped wearing his orange gi because he gave it to someone, or do you think he didn't need it anymore? I'm not really sure why he stopped wearing it, honestly. There was a theory that the Grand Priest, or actually before that, Whis was going to give him the blue gi at the end of the series, or at the end of Super. He was going to wear it from then on, but we're not even close to the end of Super, bro, because we've got more arcs coming out in the manga, we've got the movie, and more stuff coming in the future, so that might still happen. But I think Goku wanted to go back to his original colors. If you remember, Goku in the original first arc of Dragon Ball wore blue, so to me that's always been my kind of philosophy on it, back to basics. Mario Morales says, would you want Dragon Ball to add a completely new character to the regular Z Fighter team, or do you worry it would be too much like Itchy and Scratchy and Poochie? Well, at this point, they have enough fighters to choose from, but to be honest, they kind of are doing that with Broly in a way. I feel like Broly could be added to the Z Fighter team. Also, Tournament of Power, they brought back 17. They had 18 in the Z Fighter team. So the Z Fighter team does change depending on the arc, but I feel like going forward, they're not going to focus that much on those characters, which is kind of unfortunate because there's a lot they could do with them. So I hope that answered your question. Oddish says, what is your process for fact-checking and gathering information? You seem to go above and beyond when sharing news, and oftentimes you share things I've never even heard of. Thank you for your kind words. So how do I get my information? Obviously, since I started doing YouTube, I've gotten to know a lot of people behind the scenes. That is a factual statement, both in the offices of the Latin American dub, the English dub, and the Japanese dub as well. I've gotten to know a lot of people there. And here's one thing I want to explain to people about our sources, right? These people are just fans. Like, people who work on Dragon Ball nowadays, the animators, they grew up with the series. You know what I'm saying? So they're just fans, like we are, and they love, like, a lot of them are it's weird. Like, listen, I am not used to this, okay, but a lot of them are just, they like my videos because of the fact that I do a lot of research. I try to look into things a lot more thoroughly, you know. And really, as far as gathering information goes, there's a lot of sources out there to get information, both good and bad. And because I've been a fan of Dragon Ball for so long, I'm pretty good at sniffing out the BS. And also, I double check everything. Like, I look through guidebooks and things like that, translations. I ask Japanese translators. There's a lot of things, you know, that I do to double check information, you know, and I've been right most of the time. When it comes to news, I've been right. I've only messed up like 3 times, I think, in my entire tenure. 3 times in 4 years is not that bad. And they're just small mess ups or small mistakes here and there. Like that whole Frieza goes to Universe 4 thing. Dude, that day, I literally waited like, 8 hours to upload that video, and because everybody thought it was real. All of our friends, our source thought it was real. Turns out it wasn't. So I do everything I can to bring you accurate information. That's been my number one goal, is to give you the most accurate information and news of anybody. That's my goal, and I would never give that up. You know what I mean? Because then I'd be just like everybody else. I want to stand out. You know, if that makes sense. What was your favorite cereal as a kid? I don't remember. Oh God, I legit don't remember. I mean, Waffle Crisp and Reese's Pieces have always been some of my favorites. I think I did a poll on this recently on Twitter. I asked or whatever. I love Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I love Frosted Flakes. I haven't had cereal in a long time, man. I'm trying to avoid sugar because it messes up your teeth. Do you think there's a way WWE can find itself out of the mess that Rollins versus Fiend at Crown Jewel? Like, what will happen if the Fiend wins? I don't know, and I really don't care, bro. They've screwed that entire thing up. I'm not dignifying that with a response. The Bailey debut. I mean, I already answered that on Twitter, bro. Think about it. I literally spent like 4 tweets talking about how much I love Bailey's new persona, and he's asking me if I should do the old one or the new one. Obviously, bro, the new one. Other than Dragon Ball, what would you say is your all-time favorite anime? Now, that's not a bad question at all. All-time favorite, geez. Other than Dragon Ball, okay, it would have to be probably an anime movie like Ninja Scroll and Akira. I would go for those anime films. As far as TV shows go, that's tough. I would probably say Yu Yu Hakusho, even though I really enjoy Gundam 0083. Evangelion is great. Sailor Moon I had fun with, but I would probably say Yu Yu Hakusho. Also, Ranma 1/2 is great as well. Old school, but great. If you could have one new anime game right now, which franchise would it be from? Well, I haven't finished JoJo's yet, but I'd probably say something like JoJo's, but Dragon Ball, because that's my bread and butter. Thank you, Ken Zyro. Snoopy Desi says, how would you rewrite Ultra Instinct? I personally don't like how Goku really gets overpowered. I think he should get stronger, of course, but if he takes a hit or two, he's knocked out. I think what he's talking about is how fast Goku got powered up in Tournament of Power, and I agree with him. I think Tournament of Power was, even though there were a lot of great moments, overall it was somewhat poorly written. The power scaling was a mess. Goku would get infinitely stronger within just a few minutes within the time that they were in there. If I were the writers, I wouldn't have made it 48 minutes and then done like 100, how many episodes? Like, what was it, 50, 60 episodes or whatever? I wouldn't have done that. I would have made it longer. I would have made it I would have made the Tournament of Power go on for, a lot more time until there is a winner. That way we don't have those weird time issues. I also think that the first Ultra Instinct transformation, like Ultra Instinct Omen, was way better than the second one. I would have probably kept it that way or saved it for the end. I would have saved all that for the very end. Yes, I do think Charlotte will be 16-time women's champion or more. 26? I thought it was 22. Either way. What's the best JRPG besides Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Chrono Trigger? There's too many to choose from, dude. Star Ocean 2, Parasite Eve is a good one. Xenogears. I would probably say Xenogears is my favorite one. That's me and Uchi talking. Let's go down for some random stuff here. Did you like the season 4 premiere for My Hero? I haven't watched it yet because I have to catch up. So the answer to both those questions is I don't know yet. Would you rather see a movie about the Pride Troopers in Jiren or Kaba saying girls that maybe Hit? I would probably go with the Pride Troopers, even though I like Hit more as a character. I think a Pride Troopers movie would be a lot more fun. So that's my answer for that. I don't know why, JD, why are you answering for me, bro? Jeez, this guy. All right. I know Kid Buu was weaker than Buhan, but was he stronger than Buu Tanks? That's a good question. I'm actually not entirely sure because I have to go back and look. I don't believe he was, but the anime depends on what you're watching, how you're digesting Dragon Ball. The manga, and I've answered this before, the manga really lowers Kid Buu's power. Well, not lowers it, but let me rephrase. The anime, there are statements in the anime that state that Kid Buu is the strongest Majin Buu, but that's only in the anime, not the manga. So again, it's up to you to pick what you want to believe there, because it's always been my belief that the reason why Kid Buu even happened is because Toriyama wanted to strip down this whole battle and make it Goku and Vegeta in their regular, non-fused selves with Mr. Satan and Buu against Kid Buu, just the purest version of themselves, like the honorable martial artist. That's always been the reason as to why they didn't refuse. So to me, that makes the most sense. I thought you knew the answer to that question. When life hits you hard, what motivates you to keep pushing? And then he says, Did you mean to write something else there, Rodimus? I don't know. What motivates you to keep on pushing is to survive, bro, and to be hungry. To be the very best person you can be. Honestly, my parents are no longer with me, but I don't want to let them down wherever they are. And that's really what motivates me. To be real with you, to survive in the best possible conditions. It really is that simple. Did you have a favorite trading card game as a kid? And if so, which one? I played a lot of Magic the Gathering when I was a kid, a little bit of Pokemon, but that I didn't really get into it that much. I know some of my friends did. I did have some cards. I actually got them somewhere around here. I don't even know where, but Magic the Gathering was my favorite thing. Okay. Would you rather Dragon Ball continue or end? Honestly, as a fan, I feel like it should have probably ended after Battle of Gods, because that was, I think, the perfect way to cap off Dragon Ball, in my opinion. But obviously, I want to continue because I want more adventures and, obviously, more storytelling. And I had fun, Smokey says, when Dragon Ball Super returns, which direction do you think they should go arc-wise? Love your content. Well, thank you. Arc-wise, I think they should do the Moro arc. I know people are kind of wondering if they should skip it. No, I think they should do it because obviously it's going to lead to something. Why would Vegeta learn something new and then never use it again? And Goku trying to tap into Ultra Instinct again? I think they should do that. That's my guess. Again, we're going random here, okay? We're just picking. I'm literally just scrolling down trying to find something here, or not, I'm not even reading these. Like I'm just looking randomly because I'm trying to give everybody a fair shot here. What's your favorite Latin dish? Probably milanesa. That's probably my favorite. I think milanesa, which is steak Milanese with rice and beans, just Cuban food. But that's my favorite. What anime series would you want redone, and do you think wasn't adapted well? I'm not really sure because I don't read that much manga as much as I really should, to be honest with you. But I would love it if they brought back Fist of the North Star, or if they brought back what do you call Akira? Actually, that's it, because the Akira manga is different from the Akira anime movie. They need to do Akira again. Now, I'm not saying I don't like the original because I do love it. It's just they should do it to make it more accurate to the manga. That's what I would like. I wonder if you did a video on the cell that was in the present timeline potentially being stronger than the one that came from the timeline Trunks killing the androids. No, because there's nothing to say about that. There's no clues to make you think that at all. The cell in the present timeline was an embryo that was killed by Trunks and Krillin. So there's like nothing, you know. If you had full creative control over a Dragon Ball related movie or series, either previously made or original, what would the plot be? I mean, that's a long question to answer on this. I've done a lot of plot pitches with Reel to Reel, so you might want to check those out. Some of them are joking, you know, they are jokey, you know, to be honest with you. But they, you know, I would just something like that, you know, a little bit of fan service, but a good story. What inspires your drive to keep the channel going, constantly improving, growing each year? When can I expect to get them on one panel at VidCon? Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Haunted Pain. Let me just, and thanks again for everything you wrote here, you know, about how you've been a supporter for a long time. It means a lot to me. Really, it does. What inspires your drive to keep the channel going? I mean, a lot of people with Dragon Ball Super ended disappeared. They vanished. I love Dragon Ball no matter what. Like, no matter what happens, I'm always going to love Dragon Ball. And, like, because of my love for Dragon Ball, it's going to be a long time before I stop uploading. I mean, a long, long time. Whether or not Super comes back, I've got topics. I have a list of hundreds of topics to talk about. And every year I hear some stupid clown say, oh, you're out of ideas. Then boom, I drop a new series. Or boom, I drop a new video nobody else has done. Every single year I've heard the same thing. Don't let these people get to you, bro. They're slime. They're mad because they're mad because they work minimum wage and they just can't get ahead in life because they don't have the balls to, whereas most of you guys probably do. So they sit there and talk shit. Always have the balls to achieve greatness, dude. Don't ever be afraid to go out there and do what you got to do. And because I love Dragon Ball, I have so much stuff to talk about. So we ain't even close to being done. So that's what keeps me going. I mean, you know, plus it's what I do for a living. So I got to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? Just to feed myself. But at the same time, a lot of it is passion. You have to love what you do to keep doing it. And I do love what I do. How would you power up Piccolo to catch up with Goku and Vegeta? I would have him absorb more Namekians. Or the simplest thing, train with Whis. Everybody else did. Why don't they have an arc where Piccolo trains with Whis? You know what I mean? Whis is like, hey, come on, let me show you some stuff. He's already strong. If you had to do a job other than YouTube, what would it be? Whatever comes, yo. Whatever comes. I don't even know. Maybe a writer? Probably be a writer. Do you think Gohan will get another form of power, maybe Ultimate 2? No more forms for Gohan. Will Goku Black be back in Super? I don't think so, honestly. I can't predict the future. Anything can happen. How does Room of Spirit and Time work? If Goku went in for 30 days outside time, would he come out 30 years older? I'll do a whole video on this, the details on that, because it depends on what Room of Spirit and Time. As far as how it actually works, like, it's all magic. It's a different realm, so time works differently there. But I'll do a whole video on that in the future, in detail. I already did a video on that. Let's see. Do you think they'll ever continue the full color manga? That's up to Shueisha. It's Shueisha's fault. Favorite current pro wrestler? Randall K. Probably. Randy Orton is my favorite right now, but I like Kenny Omega. Actually, my favorite wrestler in the world is Okada. Point blank, it's Okada. I've never seen Black Clover. So that's pretty much it for most of these questions. I can't answer all of them. I just can't. Well, not most, but I can't answer all of them. He's talking about Bray Wyatt winning, loses the belt, bringing it something that. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think. I don't think they're gonna have. I mean, maybe he. I'm okay with him staying on Raw if they do that, and then he loses, goes SmackDown. So I think your idea could work, Hunter. So I think it could work. How would you describe this year involving all things Dragon Ball related? Tumultuous, if that's even a word. This has not been a very good year for anime, in my opinion. It really hasn't been. Hopefully next year will be a lot better. Anyways, that's it. Thank you again for watching. I hope you all have a great day. Remember, I love you. Take care of yourself and each other.